All right, we are live. Let me get this tweeted out here so everybody can join in. 1 second here. All right. Awesome, awesome, awesome. Good, good, good. Well, I hope everybody had a great trading day today. Today is, what is today? Is it Tuesday already? Tomorrow's Wednesday already? It's Tuesday, November 5th, 2019. And away we go. So, amazing stuff. So before we get started, just review this disclaimer. Everything we're going to talk about, of course, is for educational purposes only and not investment advice. All right, let's take a look and see where we are at in the market today. Okay, so let's make sure everything's going through okay. Good, good, good. Hey, guys. All right, so here's the monthly chart on the SPX. What we're seeing here is a continuation of last month's bullish green hammer, right? As we kind of work our way up, we tested all-time highs this month. Kind of came back a little bit, only down 3 points today. We're down 3 points already in the futures, but we'll see how that holds overnight. Let's see, we've got weekly chart. We are spinning top here on the weekly chart at the upper Bollinger Band on the weekly, but again, RSI is not over that 70 level, which doesn't make it a supreme reversal idea, although it could of course reverse. The last time we closed above the Bollinger Band on the weekly and had RSI overbought was in this area right here, right? It actually went for 4 weeks, and then it flushed. Okay, so just something to keep in mind there. Okay, daily chart, pretty interesting. Right, a little bit interesting with the futures down, but it's got a little weak today. Right, we had a spinning top here on Monday, kind of got a little, a little bit of spinning top, another spinning top here, right, kind of working its way down. Big open gap right here, right. So there's your bullish behavior, right, continuation. Now we're going to chop, maybe fill that gap real quickly, give us a hammer kind of like this, and then work our way back up. Or is this, is the market getting ready for a little bit of a pullback, right, and test a couple of other of these gaps? Right, so that's also a possibility, something to look at over the next couple days. Of course, we'll evaluate the price action. Let's see where we're at. Here's the geometric chart. This is what we've been kind of stalking for the past couple of years. Here's your channel, the trend channel that we've been looking at. Basically all through 2018 and 2019 has pretty much all been respected except for that December drop. Right now, that drop was quickly bought up right on the Christmas reversal. Grabbed the channel bottom and worked its way back up here. Rejected again. Then up here, looked like it might be a possibility. We gapped over it, so now we're above the channel line. So if we continue to hold that, we'll do what we talked about yesterday, possibly with this expanded flat, which looks like we're working on here, possibly there. And then after that flat is complete, then we would see potentially a very, very sharp move down to see a wave C. So something to think about. Something to keep an eye on here. So, but these are basically what we're looking at. These are the levels that we look at intraday here on the SPX. Okay, let me get today's up. Okay, so you can see right here, very, very key levels, right? So we gapped up a little bit, right? Faded the gap, and then tried to push, right? Over the 15 orb level, and all we could do is get an upper shot at the R1. What that showed is some resistance, right? So that is actually probably the biggest move of the day, possible shorting point right there, off of that resistance level, and then it did short pretty quickly there, and then gave some choppiness at these levels here. Tried to break down, not quite a 2B reversal today, but still gave you a double bottom, worked its way back up to the prior levels here over the cloud, and then just kind of chopped into the close. A little bit of a down move into the close, but we'll see how much follow through that gets. So the futures are down, like I said, slightly right now, so we'll see if that gets any follow through there. So there we go. So that is it. That's kind of the update of the market right now. At this point here, we're just gonna continue this conversation on flats. Okay, so real simple stuff, right? So it's just an interesting topic, and I kind of wanted to talk about it this week. So, we gave the definition of a flat. A flat is a corrective pattern in an Elliott wave, right? So here's your, basically wave 1, wave 2, wave 3, wave 4, wave 5, right? 3 is always the longest, right? 4 never intersects, the high of wave 1, right? So this meets all the rules right there, right, of a wave, right? So these are your corrective waves. So wave 2 or 4 would be corrective waves, right? And so wave 2, a corrective wave could either be a flat, a triangle, right, or a zigzag, okay? And so, or some combination of those, right? So, but other than that, that's pretty much it. So we're talking about the flats right now. Now a flat, so this is, here's that corrective wave right there. So that corrective wave, right, would be a 3, 3, 5 pattern. Okay, so within each of those waves, right, we see 3, 3, 5 in the flat. Okay, so what's interesting about this is what we're talking about today. So a 3, 3, 5 would look like this. So this is this leg right here would look like 1, 2, 3, right? So that would be at 1, 2, 3, 3 waves down, right? So within this pattern, okay? And so you can kind of just superimpose that in there, in this leg, right? And so what that does, right? Well, what's a 3-wave pattern? Well, a 3-wave pattern is more than likely, right, a part of a flat, right? So within a flat, you can actually have a flat. So this could be a 3, 3, 5, right? Within this leg right here, right? So this 3 could be a flat. It could be an expanded flat. It could look something like, the boom, 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 right? Within that level, this could be another flat. Boom, 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 right? And then you have your 5. You'd have your 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, and then each of those could be flats, right? So it just shows you this. Waves are fractal, right? Obviously, it ends at the tick, right? But to go and trace Elliott wave at the tick is just complete monotony, right? So we eyeball a lot of things to make sure that things are kind of looking the way they should be, right? And so that is the concept there. So let's take a look and see, just kind of see what is happening here. So within a a larger flat correction, right, you would see multiple flats, right? So so let's just take a look here. Let's clean those up so we don't see them too much later. Okay, there, and there. Good. Okay, and so let's just take a look at the daily chart here. So obviously, right, so if this was a 3, 3, 5, within this structure, right, we would see other flats, right? So this would be a 3-wave pattern, right? So the 3-wave pattern, right, this could be an A, B, C, right? So each one of these could be a flat, right? So 3, 3, 5. Right, and so we could see that as well. So we could see flats within flats. Just something when we're looking at lower time frames, right? So say if we go into this recent lower time frame right here. So if we go to the lower time, it's just to say that these things are fractal is really kind of the point of this. Where do we go? We're down here. Okay, so when we're seeing these type of movements, right? What we can see is here we see an impulsive move down, right? Maybe 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So that was a 5, and then here's your 3, A, B, C, right? Right, and then then we start to see it work its way back up, right? So here's your 5, A, B, C, right? Starts to possibly 5, 5, 3, 5. So here would be a 5, 3, 5 down on the way down, and then we start to work our way back up, right? So that's kind of the idea. It's hard to catch intraday. It can get monotonous if you're really just counting every single tick, but it's there, right? Everything forms these patterns, right? So and it's been extensively reviewed and all that stuff. And there's all sorts of other things that happen within it. But the point is that to show that it's fractal in nature. Right? We could see it on the 5-minute chart. We can see it on the 1-minute chart. And these are just kind of things that we can sort of see. And what we want to do is we want to catch those, the finishing. The ends of a lot of these things, right? So we want to catch like the wave 3 if we can. We want to catch the wave 5 if we can, right? And if we can tell a flat is forming, we want to catch the wave C if we can, right? Those are the best ones really to trade. So anyway, that's all I had to talk about this evening. So at this point, if anybody has any questions or chart requests, please feel free to plug those in the chat window. We'll get through as many as we can and try to wrap up by 10:30 so everybody can get a good night's sleep for another awesome trading day tomorrow. So good. All right. So Shirley had a few that came through. So let's take a look here. Let me get this cleaned up a little bit here. There. Daily, weekly. Okay, we're good. All right. So let's take a look. So Shirley's first one is ARNC. Okay. Ooh, big candle right there. So this is Arconic. Arconic had earnings. One of the things that is tough is to establish a trend at right after earnings, right? So we can see that we're working our way up here, like this. Okay, so it's holding that trend pretty well, right? It's bullish, but at the same time, as bullish as this is with the increase in volume, right, we still might see a pullback to the trend line and then a work up. This is basically saying yes, this is bullish, right? But we just have to be careful after earnings. There could be all sorts of shenanigans afterward. There could be some downgrades, saying oh this is overdone, et cetera, right? So we just kind of have to be careful with those candles, right? And based on some of the shenanigans that happen afterward. But other than that, bullish until proven otherwise. ARW with a spinning top top right there so far. So let's see how that's looking. So just a real quick look at this. If we were doing a trend line on these, we'd look at this. Okay, then we have kind of some bullish closure somewhere in here. Double inside, right? Could have worked on that. And then here we go. There's your trend up. So a little bit toppy right here, Shirley. So just be careful. That may work its way back to the trend line as well. Okay. Neo, nice one. So this one's been, goodness gracious, look at that. Gosh, that really moved today. Okay, good. That's fine. It had some increase, some option activity yesterday. It's just fun to see its continuation here. So it made it up to $2. It's kind of working on the gap. It is bullish, right, at this point. So it's starting to work over. Today's close is bullish, especially over these levels right here. So see if we can get some continuation. Might pause for a day or two and then start to work on filling that gap up there. So nice stuff on NEO. ECA. Okay, ECA, nice, basically three white soldiers. Actually, not even three white soldiers. Three white soldiers actually intersect each other. These are just almost like three bullish kicking bars in a row. Although even bullish kicking bars in general are would imply that one was red and then you gapped up over it, right? Which is very rare, but very bullish, right? So it's basically a professional gap here. So if that were red, if this bar were red, and you gap up and it's green, that's very, very powerful. But here we are already green going into that day. Right, so if we were red here and then we gapped up here, that would be very bullish the next day, right? So yeah, but very, very strong here as it works its way up here on ECA. Gosh, this is it's hard to believe this stock's under $5. Amazing. DVN. Good. Yeah, a little bit of an upper shadow there today, so just be careful with that. Okay, gives you a little bit of. Is that a fresh low there? Yeah, it's a fresh low, fresh trend line. It is working its way up. I like how it's closing over these levels. This was probably, there's a little bit of a upper shadow there. This is probably the day to go long. Again, of course, it was before earnings, so you always have to be careful with that. Okay, and that was after the market today, so let's see what that did here. And it's working its way up. So, I mean, generally bullish. I'm not saying that, this is a pattern to trade into earnings, but it was bullish going into it, right? So not surprised to see some continuation on it. But very, very nice. Good. Great stuff, Shirley. Gia, good evening. Hope you are well, too. Facebook. Yeah, let's take a look. Facebook here to there. Okay. Yeah, it's working its way up. I mean, it's just a little bit tricky right now, right? I mean, it's a couple different scenarios that it's working on. But I mean, you had this prior trend line right here. Right, so it's kind of in the middle of this zone, but it really has to close above this 198, almost 199 now for it to really kind of prove itself. So just something to be aware of. Give me 1 second, guys. I gotta check something here on my other screen. 1 second. Okay, good. Yeah. So just keep an eye on it. It's bullish till proven otherwise, but it may still pull back to that trend line. Let's take a look at Zoom. So Zoom, golly, yesterday was kind of the first little warning, right? A little bit of a red candle right here, kind of hanging man, and then you got that tail fail flush down. It's not to say that this move is over, by any means, but it's fizzled a little bit here. So just see how it holds. It might pull back to this trend line right here and then start to kind of work its way up. But we need to close bullishly with increasing volume over these levels here. So basically anything over 70.5, right? Okay, and let's see, Love, LUV. Yep, down trend right here. This was that nice bullish close here above those levels. Kind of gave a little bit of work up, a little bit of a bull flag right here, and still working its way up. So I mean, it is strong right now. So just watch to see how it handles this trend line right there. Okay, and then KR. Let's take a look. Oh yeah, Kroger. Gosh, this thing got a huge move today. I know they had a call. I got here marked some bullish call activity on it, but yeah, this is pretty impressive. I think they had like a discussion today. They didn't have earnings, but they had like it was analyst day. And so, I think they were talking about plant-based food or whatever they said, it got this thing really going today, and it started taking out some major pivots, right? And once it did, it just was kind of in squeeze mode today. So just something to keep in mind here. Let's see if it gets any continuation kind of going forward. Okay, great stuff. Harvey, what's going on? CI? Hope you're doing well. Good job holding through all these areas. If you are, we were long here, right? It's just amazing that how far this thing has gone. Incredible stuff. Yeah, I mean bullish. I mean it held through earnings. It's a little bit of a topping tail right here. I mean it's a little bit of a red candle right here off of an inside day. So watch the follow through on that. If you're long on this, I would just keep a stop kind of under this area right here. But it could still continue to work its way up, but it might pull back a little bit. So just see, this could be a dangerous candle right there. Okay, watch the RSI too. Kind of come down a little bit. So, but either way, big move. Now, is it time to short? Not necessarily. If we wanted to go as steep on a trend line, we have this right here. That's kind of your key line to see whether or not it makes sense to go short. We'd look to see if it got under this line, which would basically correspond with that inside day low, right? And then a confirmed close below that, and then we'd look to go short. Okay, but definitely, definitely on the radar. Paul, what's happening? Good evening. MTMVR, what's up? Fedex, Cat, UVXY. Yeah. Oh, yeah, Cat inside 60. Nice. All right, let's take a look. So Fedex has had some major moves. Looks like it finally stalled out a little bit. We were long. Where were we long? Like here-ish, I think, somewhere in there. And then caught a little bit of a move here, nice move there, and then just the continuation was just beautiful on that thing. Had some bullish call activity on Friday, and it looks like it got that follow through on Monday. Today, it's trying to work on this gap right here. This could be a doji sandwich in the works, so just keep an eye on that. But if not, it might chop around for a little bit. It does have this gap here. It might test this trend line, so just kind of just be aware that it could be a doji sandwich for tomorrow. Cat. Yeah, kind of topping out a little bit there. Let's see that. Like you said, yeah, yep, 60 anchor at the close. Very nice. So that's definitely worth keeping an eye on. And spinning top here, so very, very similar to the market. Obviously highly affected by China trade stuff. So just keep an eye on it, see if it is maybe starting to work its way back down. But in the meantime, right, trend is up, right, until proven otherwise. Okay, good. And then UVXY. Let's take a look. UVXY, wow. Just doing its thing right there. Okay, nice little close today. Look for a bullish close over that tomorrow, and you might see it move up to that macro trend line. Good stuff. NetFry, good evening. MTNVR, what in the world happened to Zoom today? I know, that was exactly it. Well, it kind of gave, like I said, it kind of gave that weak candle yesterday, right? Today's kind of definitely the get out day, right? This is the warning. This was the bearish close. Increase of it might, start to work its way down a little bit. Yeah, it's pretty crazy that it decided to do that. Paul, what's happening? Twilio and Facebook. Yeah, let's take a look. Yeah, Twilio is definitely looking weak. This thing's obviously below its macro trend line. Fresh low, fresh trend line, by the way. Fresh low, fresh trend line. So it's been working its way down there. These are the key levels here to look at, right? When we're dealing with a macro trend line, right? Any move to that trend line, right, presents potential risk, right? So you had this, obviously it was right by earnings, right? Earnings were down, right? Then it gave you that inside day, that's what we call it, jack in the box, right? And then that was that move down off of that. So so we'll see. I mean, it's obviously moving in kind of waves here. I mean, essentially it's also a channel that it's working through, right? So that kind of thing too. That's a bad channel right there, but anyway, you get the idea. Right, so it might work its way down to the bottom of the channel before going back up, so that's something to consider as well. Good. And then Facebook. Yeah, inside bar failed to reverse down. Harvey, this is kind of what I was talking about here. Here's your reversal bar, but this one did not take it down. So that's just something to look at there. And again, but the trend is up here until proven otherwise. No fresh highs, so no fresh trend line on that one. Good. Good. Wendy, good morning. Hope everything's going great in Singapore. Awesome. Paul, what's going on? Ulta? Yeah, let's take a look. Yeah, Ulta was pretty strong today. Had a nice move. It was actually swingable, micro trend line wise, right? Again, it's trying to work its way again back up, possibly to these levels, then possibly that trend line. It is bullish. The only thing we didn't have is increased volume on it, which would have been interesting, but it is starting to kind of show some signs of strength. And any hope on a cat downgrade? NetFry, that's a great question. We just looked at the chart there for a second ago. It could be happening again. Of course, it's affected by China trade talk the whole time. So it's getting weak. It's getting weak up here. So we'll continue to monitor it, see if Excalibur is working its way back down, right? So, but if anything, it might just test the trend line. We'll see. Michael, ABT, yeah, absolutely. Hope you're doing well. Abbott Laboratories, so got through earnings, got through all this stuff. Right there. So it's holding the trend line pretty well. So as long as it stays above that, it's bullish until proven otherwise. Nice stuff. Minesh, what's happening? Apple? I think you mean AAPL. If not, forgive me. Okay, so this is these trend lines are already in place because we observe this one pretty much every day. So Apple might be forming, we talked about this the other day, Apple might be forming a macro extended flat as well, right? So we have this 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 zigzag correction down, so that your 5 ABC, this is a little bit cleaner than the SPX. That's clearly an impulsive move down. ABC 3, so 5, 3, and then we would expect eventually a sharp move back down on Apple. So we'll keep an eye on that too. Good. And then if you did want APPL, I don't even think it's available anymore. So I'm pretty sure you meant Apple. Good stuff. Experience and thoughts. Good evening in the city. TWRT, Nudie Poo. Tower Tech Holdings. Do you mean TWTR? Possibly TWT. I'm going to go with that. So let's see. So we've got this. All right. So it's kind of getting there. We want some increased volume. We want to close over these levels right here. So we definitely want to close over $30.40, bullishly with some increasing volume. And then we might start to see a little bit of a move up. Good. And then SLV. Silver. Ooh, it's new. NetFry, it's stuck there. It's in the Bermuda Triangle right there. It's between this trend line and this trend line. It's kind of really choppy, like in between there. I mean, we could take a look at it. It's really, really challenging with all the multiple gaps, right? But the metals like to do that. It's actually below this support line too. So let's see if it closes bearishly below there, we might see a move down. But if the market opens down tomorrow and fills some gap, silver might get a little bit of a move up. So something to look at. Seneca, what's going on? Hey, UPS. Yep. Let's take a look. UPS. Definitely interesting. Almost a 180 reversal on that one today, if you could believe it. Wow. Fresh low here, fresh trend line. There, it closed bullishly yesterday. Give a little bit of a move up and kind of reclaim 50% of the range. See if it holds at 50% this range right here. If it holds today's low, it could continue to work its way up. If not, it might want to fill that gap. Really interesting chart, for sure. Thomas, what's going on? CBS? Yeah, absolutely. Let's take a look. Okay. CBS Class B. Cool. There's your trend line. Yeah, I mean, definitely starting to work its way up here. Earnings coming up. Let's see if we can get another bullish close above those levels, right? It looks like it wants to get going, but that upper shadow kind of kept it down in the slightly decreased volume. So something to keep an eye on. But it's starting to get there, for sure. Tricky with the earnings coming up. Enjoy life. Apparel, what's going on? Good to see you. MTN. Yeah, Seneca, I was trying to play a bounce in UPS at the end of the day. It didn't work so well. Sorry, MTN. NetFry, McDonald's, any hope adding to the watch list? Let's see. I know you tweeted about that earlier. Let's see. It is interesting, right? So it had that move down. I mean, we were kind of working on a... all right, so here's what's going on with McDonald's. McDonald's is like straight Elliott wave wonder, right? We tracked this back here, right? That zigzag correction, then it's had this impulsive move up, and now it's breaking down out of the impulsive move. So the breakdown here, right, it looks like this could possibly be like a, 1 ABC 2 3 4 AB, ABC 4, and then we could be looking at here 1 2. We could be just working on this correction right here, right? So this could be 1 A B C. We could work its way up, NetFry, but we just got to be careful because once it corrects itself, then it may continue one more leg down. Something to keep in mind. And what's going on? Hey, BX. Let's take a look. Blackstone. Yeah, nice bump right there on this. There. Okay, slight close right there, not enough volume. I'd like to see a little bearish close below there to try to get to this line right here. So watch this bump on this one. It is forming like a little inverted head and shoulders type thing, possible, cup and handle. But just keep an eye on it here. It's got, some resistance levels here, right? So see, it might work its way back down again and then back up and then form sort of like an inverted head and shoulders. Okay, and then CRM. Gosh, the CRM is so tough to trade. Boom, there. Macro trend line is out of it. Some bullish closes and some moves. So now ultimately, it's just, to get bullish, we have to close over this level right here, and then we'll see if it can continue. So tough to trade. KO. Yeah, KO had a rough day today. A couple rough days in a row with increasing volume. So we'll see. I mean, it's got some support down here. So we'll see if that gets some continuation. A little bit of a lower shadow for hope for the bulls. Morgan Stanley. Gosh, this thing has been bullish for weeks. Big upper shadow right there. Wow, that one makes the game plan on that one. That is a big upper shadow right there. That's worth it for the game plan. Nice one on that. Hold on 1 second. 1 second, guys. Can't believe tomorrow's Wednesday already. I guess I can. We had a lot of 15 orbs today too. Regeneron was pretty incredible. Pretty incredible move on Regeneron. Okay, good, nice ones. Good, great charts. Let's take a look. Are they? What's happening? SNX. Okay, let's take a look here. Got through earnings nicely. Yeah, I mean, bullish until proven otherwise. You might call this a rising wedge, right? But as long as it holds that trend line, we're good. If it starts to break down, we'll look for a bearish close under it, and then boom, gap fill central. Nice chart. Good find. Doc Admin, what's happening? All right, we got Coop. Yeah, Coop was starting to look super duper bearish today towards the close. I loved the volume. I loved the candle. It was like down here. I was like, yeah, Coop's going to be a short. And then we got that lower shadow in. So now it's just like, okay, what's it going to do? Is it going to try to climb back over the trend line, fill the gap, work its way up? If it does, watch for a possible Morningstar reversal on it. TTD. Always a nice one. Wow, this thing has been putting in so many inside days. Okay, so this is basically chopping around the pitchfork right now. It is gearing up for earnings, which is on the 7th. Okay, that's after the market on the 7th. So that'll be an interesting one to kind of keep an eye on. I'm sure the premiums are just getting ridiculous. Let's take a look. Yeah, 10, 12 bucks. Just starting to get silly. Good. Oh, yeah, and CRWD. This is going to get interesting soon. It really is. It just by the mere act of chopping, it got through the downward trend line. Okay, so let's see if we can close bullishly above that and then look for a potential move. It's getting there. My pleasure. Thank you. Thanks for tuning in. Experience and thoughts. What's going on? TXN. Oof. Well, it's holding its own here after the gap. Let's see. Not quite a Morningstar reversal there. So a little bit funky here. It's basically still within the initial, gap range. So look for a bullish close above those. We could start to see like some sort of ascending triangle going on with this, right? Something like that. So see how that kind of works its way. And then let's see AVGO. Yeah, I mean bullish. Look at how it came right to the fib fan line right there. So it's just been really tricky, all these guys, right? Lots of resistance levels. Tough to really swing, but definitely had some intraday price action that was interesting, especially after a nice close yesterday that closed above these pivot level there. So I like the follow through today. Look at that resistance right off the fib fan line. Incredible stuff. Nudie poo, it's cool. Yeah, we caught it. We caught it. Wendy, what's going on? Ulta? Yep, we just kind of looked at this a little bit ago. So macro trend line obviously is down. It's trying to work its way out of this micro trend line, but again, it needs the volume to get there. Still a good day today. URI. Upper shadow as well. That is that's looking. We looked at that. Oh wow, it looks a lot like Morgan Stanley, but and a little bit like that UPS too. But big gap, kind of go, little continuation, upper shadow, right? So it may pull back, fill a gap, chop around for a little bit, something like that. But it does look kind of toppy there. Okay, Lulu. Yep, Lulu did a great job of holding the macro trend line. So good stuff. In fact, Lulu could be one to keep on the long list just by holding that trend line, but the mere act of holding that. So that's good too. One second. So we have, yep. One second. Okay, good. Good. Sorry, just checking there. Okay, good. Yeah, so that's Lulu. So holding the trend line right there could be bullish, and then AMD. AMD with an upper shadow too. I mean, everything is getting really extended up here. So the real question is at this point, like, how big is when this thing pulls back? How big is it going to be? Well, according to Apple and SPX, it could be pretty big. A couple of these just might pull back a little bit. So, but definitely caution would be warranted here, based on these upper shadows. And experience and thoughts, QCOM. Yep, they have earnings, or they had earnings tomorrow after the market. Yeah, so we'll keep an eye on that. Inside day right here, just I would expect either some chop or high premium type stuff. But we'll see what it does. I mean, in the earnings, you never know. Never know. Very interesting. Manesh, what's going on? Yeah, I know. All good. All good. Yeah, I caught it. MTN, Twitter appears to have that 60-minute cloud directly overhead till next week. I know. Yeah, Twitter got slammed on the 60. Slammed on the 60. In fact, today, if you guys want to look right here, look what it did today. Big cloud, right? A lot of that has to do with just the gap down, right? But right, there's other things in play too, right? So, but yeah, hit it today, right at the open. You had a 60 anchor yesterday. Bullish off the 60 anchor, went right into the cloud, upper shadow, and then boom, flush down, right? And now it's dealing with the cloud right here. So it's in it, but let's see if it can hold it. Very, very good. Nice on Twitter. Nefra, yeah, my pleasure. Harvey, yeah, let's go with BA. So BA had a nice close today, right? I like it. It closed, bullishly. It closed in the cloud. Let's put the cloud up here for you guys. Ichimoku. Okay, had a nice close today in the cloud. Nice gap up, nice volume. It looks bullish. Okay, so but it's a drama stock, right? So we have to be careful with that, right? Because it basically has news like every night on it, so it makes it really, really tough to swing. But it's starting to get bullish. It's in the cloud. See if it can get in the upper end of this range and maybe break out of yesterday's highs or today's highs. Okay. Good. Yeah, my pleasure. Seneca, MTMVR. I'll be sure to be careful on UPS. Yeah, absolutely. Manesh, shop. Let's take a look. Shop with the drop again. We talked about this the other day. That double inside day, possible straddle idea, right? The straddles are actually up a point right now. If we took them, if we took this week's, I think what was it, the 312.50s, right? So we'd be up a point right now. So let's see if we get any follow through on that. We do have this support level right here. It's a possible area that's around 285. If it breaks down even farther, right, we might see this 270 area, which is the midpoint of the channel. So Shop has been respecting this channel pretty well. Okay, so let's see if it continues to respect it. So we won't look for that wave be up until we get a confirmation right above the channel. Okay, good. And my pleasure. Experience and talks. Would January straddle work on Apple at these levels? Meaning if it goes down, as opposed to say products weeks later, if it recovers, get out of calls. That's a really dangerous thing to do. I'm not saying it's a bad idea. It's just dangerous, right? Because we can get really, really caught, right? Especially if we sell the calls too early, right? Or vice versa, right? And then you're stuck with the other one, and you think it's going to reverse, and then it doesn't, and you really get hammered because the value of it is way low. So you have to be so super careful with that type of strategy. That's super elite trading, and you have to be careful with it. Sometimes it's better just to maybe get something cheap like a strangle or something like that out of the money, and then if it works one direction or the other, the one's already kind of cheap anyway, and the other one doubles and it already pays for itself, right? That type of idea. So you know what I'm saying? So if you're like here, like with Apple, instead of going with a straddle, right, which is going to be expensive, right? So if you, what would you say, like January? So if you went out to like January, right, your straddle is going to be like, 19 bucks, right? But if you think by January, right, it's going to move like, say, like, 20 points or something like that, or even 50 points, right? Then you're out of the monies, right, each way, right? Say like the 305s here. Hello. It's not letting me add it. There we go. Okay, so you get those, right? And you can see those are $1.20, right? So if one of these got in the money before then, right, then the other one would be completely worthless, and then you could bank your profit on that, and then the other one, it's already paid for the other leg. But when you do the straddle, it's really got to move that 50 points, right? So almost better, if you're going to go far out like that, it's almost better to do like a lotto long and a lotto short on it. But at this point, right, we can almost just tell like when it's going to go, right? We just have to just continue to track it on these trend lines here. So I mean, technically, we do have enough space. I mean, it's getting really tight right here. So if we had a bearish close below here, it could work its way back down to the trend line. But we'll see if it gives another high, and we'll kind of work our way that way. And then we just get puts, and then once it hits support, then we can look to go the other way too. But yeah, just be careful with that. Sean, what's going on, Octa? Yeah, so Octa is interesting. Double inside day, rejected the cloud. Started to work its way down. I would have liked it if it closed more bullishly here with increasing volume, but it's still just kind of hanging out in this area. So it's tough to really make a decision either way on that one. TuneFed, what's going on? Inside day on spot after a nice move up. Keep with the great. Thanks, man. Let's take a look at spot. Yeah, inside day, big move up on spot. Wow. Yeah, big move. So these are those, surely, if you're still listening, those big gap days, right? Big moves. Then you get the inside day. Then you can try to trade that up there. And that was nice through the cloud right there. Wow, great job. Great catch on spot. That got off the radar there on my side, but very, very nice move. Love it. Nice chart, TuneFed. Experience and thoughts. If you get a chance, can you take a look at Intel? A lot of activity on the November 15th, 52 and 55 calls. Let's take a look at Intel. So Intel, just be careful of the upper shadow, but this one ended up turning profitable on a trade of the week idea. Nice bull flag right there. Remember, gapped its way up, and then a little bit of upper shadow right there. If you go to the Novembers, you said. Yep, you're seeing some activity here, right, in a couple of these areas. 2.5 and 55. Yeah, ooh, look at that. Big volume right here. That's big money, because that's in the money. See, these guys like their deltas. They're just trading that instead of the stock. Yep, and they probably did a call spread. That's probably part of a call spread. Probably did 100 grand here, bought 100 grand of these, sold 100 grand of these, right? So they just have a call spread on it. So it is likely bullish, unless they sold the call spread. We don't really know. They could have sold it as a right. Just did the opposite, which would be basically just selling premium. So they could be getting ready for the ex-dividend type stuff and just a little bit of a move down. So keep in mind, it's not necessarily bullish. It could be a bearish. They could have sold a call spread, like a hedge fund hedging. Okay, and then the January 17th, 40 calls. Yeah, some big volume there too. Absolutely. Yeah, I mean, it could, and that could be part of big volume. That could be part of a hedging strategy. The fact that they're so deep in the money is interesting, right? So, watch for other legs that appear also in the future too, because they could do that. There's a lot of manipulation that goes on in the options market. They show that there to make it look bullish, right? Those type of things. So, anyway, very, very interesting. Nice catches on that one. MTM, my pleasure. Experience and thoughts, Zion. Let's take a look. Woo! Bullish. Increasing volume too. Look at that. Huge move up. Incredible stuff. Incredible move. Yeah, I mean, it's bullish until proven otherwise. A little bit of an upper shadow there, so just be cautious. But use this trend line as your guide. Nice stuff. That's the alligator coming out of the water right there. You can see the alligator eyes and stuff like that in his mouth. Anyway, good stuff. Yeah. Nice. Yeah, my pleasure. Yeah, thank you so much. Intel calls were bought. Yeah, absolutely. So good. All right, guys. Well, awesome stuff. I hope you guys had a good experience tonight, and maybe learned something here or there, and got to great charts from everybody. So always appreciate that. 2 million shares block trade on Zion. Yeah, that was a big day today. Big volume on that today, for sure. Someone's expecting it to go up, so we should definitely keep an eye on it. Are they ever? Ever cool? Woo! I got some volume too, huh? Big volume day today. So that is an interesting one as well. Definitely one to look at there. Two bank stocks that got some big volume. Power gap, exactly. I like it. Good stuff. All right, guys. Well, I appreciate everybody's charts and ideas and input, and I hope everybody has a great evening. Thank you for tuning in. If you're new here, definitely give us a subscribe on YouTube, and also check the links in the description, too. I hope everybody has a great evening and an awesome night rest, and we have a great trading day tomorrow. Have a great rest of your evening, and remember your risk first, and stay safe so you can stay in the game. And I'll talk to you guys soon.